Mr. Chairman. Thank you for all being here today, experts. And it's always a treat to be here when I'm able to talk to people much smarter than I am. And this last time I was in this very same chair, we were talking about crypto. And I asked the experts, and I said a couple questions, and they were kind of fundamental. And I just want to ask you as well, too, as experts. Should crypto exist? In other words, where should it exist? Why should it endure? If anyone has any answers.
Happy to assist. Actually, that's the exact question that I was asked by the Ministry of Finance in Israel a couple of years ago. And he asked me, you know what, let's just outlaw everything, this entire crypto. It's going to be used for bad purposes. And I told him, Mr. Minister, unfortunately, the technology is out there. So it's not a question whether you like it or not. You need to manage the risk and find the ways to actually supervise that and make sure that it will be compliant. So there are good uses of crypto, financial inclusion, and many others. At the same time, we have to be very strict to make sure that the legislative framework is addressing the concerns that we have. We have to make sure that all platforms are compliant, that we have very clear rules, that all countries are enforcing them in a similar manner, and that we are not letting other countries to get off the hook and actually encourage environment in which bad actors can work. We could create, together with the FATF, a gray list of those countries and make sure that they are publicly announced, and then we'll have better, in addition to other tools, we'll have better way to monitor what's going on there rather than just, assume that it isn't happening.
Yeah, and so where does the value assigned to crypto come from? Where does it come from? Because it's really just a mathematical idea, kind of for me feels like it's a gimmick, but where does the value of that come from other than there's not somebody kind of less informed that I'll pay more than what you just, bought it for. So anyone have any thoughts on that?
Well, I can answer again. I mean, there are some rationale of, having a more decentralized economy and theories behind that. But I mean, at the end of the day, I think that this discussion, even if it was relevant a couple of years ago, it doesn't matter anymore because the technology is there, and it's not something that is possible now, to decide. Enough people think that there is value, and they're spending the money on it. And of course, illicit actors are using that as well, no doubt about it. So I think that the major challenge that we should focus our energy on is how to make sure that their options are being smaller and that we're closing the gaps as much as possible these days.
So let me ask you, why didn't Hamas use its American Express card to finance that awful terrorist? Why? Why wouldn't they use their Amex or PayPal?
So actually, they are using bank accounts and credit cards and payment cards. I know that firsthand because many Israelis are now monitoring all campaigns, and they see that.
Oh, so it's traceable then, right?
Yeah. No. What I just want to say is that crypto. I don't want us to fall into the assumption that crypto will solve everything. Other traditional channels are also being used. This is all just I want to say.
Yeah, well, I was just trying to drill down. It's like, of course, it seems that they used crypto because it's really difficult or impossible to trace. So is, the bug is the feature, it seems, to me. And if you are able to remove that ability to be anonymous, would crypto even endure? Because to me, it seems like whether you're financing terrorism or purchasing illicit drugs, on the dark web or other kinds of illegal things, no one's doing that, using, Apple Pay or whatever. They're using crypto. So really, is the one major reason why crypto exists is to finance things that are either illegal or they wouldn't want to be attached to that kind of a thing. Is that a fair question?
I mean, I don't want to step up encouraging the industry because that's not my purpose. But it is important also to mention that because everything here is digital, in many aspects, sometimes as law enforcement community, there are better monitoring tools to go on crypto and blockchains rather than cash, for example, because there are always alternative for that. So we should, I think, focus on our efforts on how to improve the monitoring resources and tools that we have, how to impose more compliance, and how to differentiate between those environments of legal and illegal activities. And there are ways to do that. And once you're putting them aside, you could have better things. By the way, there are some cryptocurrencies that you could actually confiscate from afar, from a distance, just by disabling them. So this is something like one of the solutions that some actors from private sector came up with in order to minimize the options to misuse crypto. Again, it's not that I'm supporting the industry. I'm just in a place in which it exists, and we have to find a way to deal with it, because outloading that altogether just will create a black market that will not be able to supervise at all. And that actually I'm more afraid of than having some monitoring tool and working on improving them and making sure that law enforcement authorities may have the option of doing that. And being realistic, because money laundering and terrorism financing happen in many platforms.
Mr. Chairman, may I indulge for 30 seconds? Oh, thank you, sir. And it's more of a statement where it's like, to me, my question is like, if you are able to effectively track it or document it, would anybody really use it anymore? That's really, to me, that's what I'm really trying to get to it. And I'm not saying there's an answer. That's why I'm asking the experts. It's like, if you're able to effectively track it, would it really be attractive for anyone to traffic in that, especially because how volatile it is? And I really hope Hamas and everyone took a bath in crypto, with the rest of everyone else too. So they got a lot less guns for what they used to have, maybe.
So we're definitely hearing a lot of use cases in the market of people that are using that, in order to make sure that they are not attached to a certain currency, but have something that, is fixed to the dollars, that they want to put their funds in places or to transact with lower cost, to have more financial inclusion options. So there are some legitimate use cases for that, and the blockchain technology, generally speaking, has its advantages in the way that it's easier to transact around the globe.
Thank you, Senator Fetterman. Thank you to the panel for being here.